Dogs are better people than people, aren't they? They're amazing dogs. They're our best friends. They guard us. They guide us. There's medical detection dogs that can smell if you've got, like, AIDS. I'm not a doctor, but their noses are, like, 1,000 times more sensitive than ours. So they sort of go, "Poor, you're well HIV." Fuck, you know. And you go, "You can smell AIDS on someone." Yeah. Yeah. Then why didn't you smell it on the bloke I brought home last night then, you fucking idiot? They did the first 3 billion years by themselves, evolution and all that. And then we got involved and we did a bit of selective breeding, you know, getting them how we wanted them to do jobs for us, you know, a bit more of that, a bit stronger, faster, whatever. And they're great at the jobs they're bred to do, and they love the job they're bred to do because they're genetically hardwired to love that behaviour anyway. Although the Rhodesian Ridgeback was bred to hunt lions, and I can't help but think that was a little bit of a shock to it when it found out. So we've done all the breeding, all the different pedigrees, all thousands, all the miles around, a big passing out parade. There's a bloke in a square with a white coat and a clipboard, and he goes, "Right, dogs." And they all go, what? Who wants to know what jobs they've got? We all do. Right. Okay, Labradors. Yeah? Do you like carefully bringing back dead ducks? Yeah. That's your job. Amazing. That is amazing. That is my favourite job. That is my favourite job. Jack Russells. Yeah. Do you like shooting down rabbit holes after... Yeah. That's your job. Fucking hell. Best day ever. Best day ever. Miniature poodles. Yeah. Do you like being carried around by elderly homosexuals? Yeah. That's your job. That's your job. Ridgebacks. Yeah. They've all had loads of kids. Their kids have had loads of kids. And their kids are having kids. It's like a pyramid. There's about 50 of them. I don't know all their names. I see them at Christmas. They come running over. "Uncle Ricky." They know I've got a bit of cash. And they go through my pockets and fuck off. It's like being mugged by mice, right? No, I don't mean now. I mean strangers, right? So I can be busy. I can be working. I can be on the set of a TV show or film or something. I can be stressed. I can be producing it or directing it. And you get someone who comes in for one day, like he's got one line, or a stunt man. They come over, they introduce themselves, and I go, "Oh, yeah, good to have you. I'll be with you in a minute." Then they hover, right? And they say, "Busy?" I go, "Yeah, yes, yeah." They go, "Oh, you working the weekend?" "Not filming, but I'll be in the edit or something." So, yeah. And they go, "Oh, taking my youngest to ballet lessons." "Oh, great, great." "Yeah, she's 8. No. I got a photograph of her here. I want to go, "Oh, you know what? Show me if she goes missing." I'll keep an eye open in the woods. You know what I mean? But you've got to go through the whole polite rigmarole. You've got to go, "Oh, she's beautiful. Yeah." It's got to be that long. Too short and it's awkward. They know. You go, "Yeah, right." Oh. Too long and it's like, "Oh." She's fucking beautiful. It's a minefield, isn't it? I'm not out of touch, but I am spoiled. And there's a difference. I'm not out of touch. I didn't have any money till I was 40. I got the same family and friends, same values. But I am spoiled because opportunity and privilege spoils you. And it doesn't take much, right? I'll give you an example. Right, first time I started making it in America, the next time we flew, we were met at the plane by a bloke in a suit and a thing, and he just walked us past the queue like that and straight out the other side. Right? And the first time it happens, you're sort of horrified. You're going, "Oh, my God, everyone's looking at me, pretending to be late. Oh, God, a baseball cap. Oh, God." Next time we flew, I went, "Where's that bloke who walks us through? I'm not fucking queuing." Right? It's quick, right? And whenever I fly to the States, I've got a place there, but I'm always working, right? So someone else is paying, right? So I go first class, BA. Oh, it doesn't get any better. Even if I was paying my own way, I still go first class, but Jane would probably be in coach. Right? It's 10 grand a pop. She's, yeah, that new Planet of the Apes movies on, she'll love that. She'll be happy, right? But when someone else is paying, I say, Jane, get up here with me, right? Front 2 seats. Oh, they board us early. We're on the plane about 15 minutes before anyone else. Oh, my God. They bring around these snacks, these, like, warmed, caramelized nuts in a bowl, right? Champagne. It's great. It's like a little day off for me. No phone or anything. It's like a little holiday flying to the States, right? I could do without the safety video. That's always a bit of a downer, right? And totally pointless. If you go into the side of a mountain at 500 miles an hour, the brace position does fuck all. Imagine if that worked, right? You're going down, right? The flame smash, you go, I'll try it, right? You do that, ball of flames, you wake up, everyone's dead, except you go, fucking hell, that's amazing. That is... And they always use that voice, don't they, on the safety? They always use that voice, that calming, hypnotic voice. Like, nothing bad will happen. They're saying horrendous things, but they're trying to make you think nothing bad will happen because I'm using this voice, so don't worry about it, right? They say things like, in the event of the plane landing on water, it smashes the fuck to bits, right? They don't say that. They say, in the event of the plane landing on water, your life jacket is equipped with a whistle. A fucking whistle. So the plane hits the water, smashes to bits. Everyone's dead except you by a miracle. You're bobbing around in the Atlantic Ocean. 4 degrees that water is, right? You've got about 15 minutes before hypothermia sets in, right? Or eaten by a shark, or you drown, and you're hoping they've dispatched air sea rescue, and you're going, oh my God, I'm bruised and broken. I'm going to die. I don't want to die wet, and then I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on. I mean, air sea rescue. Now, I don't know if you've ever been in a helicopter. Of course you haven't, right? But they're fucking loud, right? It's like having your head in a washing machine. You have to wear earplugs and then ear defenders. Your teeth rattle. It's like that. So you're over the Atlantic Ocean at night, you go... Never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. If you crash, you die, right? But apart from that, it's brilliant. Right, so I was flying Heathrow to JFK just before Christmas, right? Boarded us early on the plane. She comes round, oh, champagne in a wine glass, like you like it, Miss Gervais. I go, thank you. She goes off, I go, excuse me, got any of them warm nuts? She went, oh, we're not handing out nuts on this flight. There's a lady getting on who's so allergic that even someone else eating nuts in the vicinity would cause her to have a fatal reaction. I went, oh, my God. She went, yeah. I said, oh, of course, yeah. I was fuming. I mean, what's that got to do with me? Why can't I eat nuts just because fucking this woman will die, right? Nuts. I mean, how has she lived this long? If walking by a nut kills you... If being just near a nut, how has she never been near a nut before? And how has she lived long enough, having never been near a nut, how has she lived long enough to earn enough money to be near me on a plane, right? Honestly, it's... And if being near a nut kills you, do we really want that in the gene pool? I mean... I've never wanted nuts more. I felt that she was infringing on my human right to eat nuts, right? And this is how spoiled I am, okay? I actually had this thought. I thought, oh, no, I wish I'd bought my own nuts on, right? And I thought that for about a second. I thought, oh, no, that wouldn't work, because she'd get on, right? She'd start going, oh, blowing up like a frog, right? And die, right? And then someone would go, Ricky Gervais bought his own nuts on. Right? So, of course, I don't take my own nuts on. What I do now, before I fly, I have a shower, and then I rub myself all over in nuts, just in case. Because then they go, oh, can I have any nuts? I go, oh, no, not nuts. A lady getting on, so allergic, she'd die. I go, yeah, not a problem, right? Lady gets on, sits down, starts blowing up like a frog, going, right? I'm going, what's the matter? I'm touching her all over. I go, what's the matter? What's the matter, love? And she goes, oh, nuts, right? And dies, and I go, who's been eating nuts? I get off scot-free. So I got to America, I went on a chat show, right? The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, right? And I told that story, the whole thing, right? And went well, audience laughed, great, went out, right. Next day on Twitter, outrage. And by outrage, I literally mean one person going, how dare you, right? Right, this woman had seen that she was like, I saw you on Jimmy Fallon, it was disgusting, making fun of nut, and my daughter's nut intolerant, how dare you, children die. I'm going, oh my God, who's this woman? And she's tweeted me about 15 times. She starts atting NBC and Jimmy Fallon. I'm going, why is she stirring up trouble? How many followers? 23, ignore it, don't worry about it, right? And you know when you're being told off and they use your own silly words against you, like a teacher going, what, you find so-and-so funny? And because the teacher's really angry, right? Yes, you do find that thing funny. Whatever they... She said, would you find it funny if my daughter blew up like a frog? Yeah, because you're saying that, yes. If you said that at the funeral, I would, yes, yeah. So, right, and then someone else gets involved, Ohio Mums Against Nuts, right? And she does a blog, right, and they're talking to each other, and she puts me in her blog about how disgusting I am, how many children die, and all this sort of stuff. One of them even filmed her little girl, right, and put it on YouTube and sent me the link. And I opened the link. It was a sweet little girl, about 7 years old, and she just went, Dear Miss Gervais, I have a fatal nut allergy. Delete. Not my problem, right? Ignore, 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 right? But then one of them said something that reeled me in. Just because I'm this self-professed Twitter police, right? Try and explain to someone every day what freedom of speech means, particularly in the context of comedy, and particularly in the context of a joke, that a joke about a bad thing isn't as bad as the bad thing. It's not even necessarily condoning the bad thing. It could be anti the bad thing. It depends on the actual joke. And this woman said, you should never make jokes about food allergies. I should have left it, right? I sent back, I make jokes about AIDS, cancer, famine, and the Holocaust, right? And you're telling me I should never joke about food allergies. She sent back, yes, but the Holocaust didn't kill children. Well, it did, didn't it? It was horrible, the Holocaust. Some would say as bad as food allergies. Didn't kill children. Jesus. It did kill children. Oh my God, Hitler killed 12 million people, many of them children. Hitler, I've just got to say, Hitler, you couldn't make him up. He is the worst human being to ever walk the face of the earth. He's a crazy, evil, racist, narcissistic serial killer. Just terrible. But if I was throwing a dinner party and I'd been slaving all day over a hot stove, right? And I was getting everything ready, right? And there was one place left, and I had to either invite Hitler or that little girl with food allergies. I know who'd ruin that party more. You know what I mean? Everyone's enjoying it. How is everything? He's going, yeah, it's yummy, right? And I'm going, he's loving it. I'm going, cheers. Oh, you fuck. How you doing, boy, about that, right? She's going, I can't eat that. Oh, fucking hell, I'll get you some. Who wants Ferrero Rocher? Me! Right? I can't eat them. Oh, fuck off home, right? But that's what the world's like. People see something they don't like and they expect it to stop, as opposed to deal with their own emotions. They expect everyone to care about their thing as much as they do, right? And it's why the world's getting worse. And the world is getting worse. Don't get me wrong, I think I've lived for the best 50 years of humanity. 1965 to 2015, the peak of civilization for everything, for tolerances, for freedoms, for communication, for medicine. And now it's going the other way a little bit. The last couple of years, just a little blip maybe, right? And I'm not saying this just because I'm old, because that does happen. Old people say things like, oh, everything was better when I was a kid. Well, of course it was, you were a kid. Everything's better when you're a kid, right? being old is the shit bit. Whatever's happening in the world, being old is the... I wake up these days and I go, oh, fuck, I didn't die. Right? Got to do it all again. I'm usually hungover, headache, liver pains. I can't walk for the first 5 minutes because I've got no joints in the knees, right? I'm getting fat again now, right? Now, I was thin till I was about 28, like proper skinny, like 9.5 stone, right? Then I got a job, right? And the next sort of 20 years were what I call my eating years, right? And I just got steadily fatter and fatter till I reached a peak of unwellness and blobbiness when I was about 48 years old. And it was one Christmas, I was at home, lying on the floor, right? And I was saying to Jane, I'm having a heart attack, right? And honestly, my heart rate was like 130. I felt nauseous. I was palpitations. I was sweating because I'd eaten 11 sausages. True story, right? I was like one of them snakes. You know when you see a big, like, python swallow a pig whole, and then it's just fucked. It's just like, it's for a week, it's like a duffel bag, just there. That was me, right? And obviously I wasn't having a heart attack, but it worried Jane. She said, you've got to start looking after yourself. I thought, yeah, you're right, 48. So I started working out, right? I started working out every single day. I didn't give anything up, right? I don't eat meat anymore, but I was having like 2,500 calories, 3,000 calories a day, including wine every night, right? But I burnt it off the next day. Just so I could do all that, I worked out for an hour and a half every day, running, weight training. I had more time on my hands than the average person. I had a gym built in my house. I had no excuse. And I lost about 20 pounds, and it was great. But now, I still eat and drink too much, right? But I physically can't burn off the calories. I can't do enough because I'm so old and broken and tired. So I'm going to get steadily fatter and fatter again. And this time, I am going to die. I'm losing my hair. It's getting really thin. I know it looks great from there. Cheers. But, no, honestly, in a lift, right, with that light directly overhead and the mirror, it looks like an X-ray, right? I'm going to have to buzz that off soon. I'd never wear a wig. Oh, my God. Guys, if you wear a wig or a toupee and you think you've got away with it, you haven't. Everyone knows. Everyone knows immediately. My brain knows a wig has come into the room before I do, right? I could be at a party or something and it'll go, there's a wig in here. I go, is there? Yes, there is. Yeah. Spidey senses for the wig. It's only a little bit of the way they smile at you like there's nothing wrong. Telltale signs, isn't there? I was put off wigs for life, though, by my Uncle Reginald. A great bloke. He's dead now. Died a few years ago, right? I was only little, right? But he went bald in his 20s, tragically bald. I mean, he started going bald and his hair fell out. It might have been something. It might have been alopecia or something. I don't know. But he was bald for 10 years, into his 30s, right? Turns up one day at our house, Elvis. What is... like... And I remember I was about 8, and I said to Auntie Edna, what happened to Uncle Reginald's hair? And she went, it was a miracle. They were lying. They were just hushing. It was everyone knew he was bald, right? But he'd embroiled his family in on the lie, so they had to lie as well. They're going, yeah, it just grew back. Yeah, it's amazing, right? And there's so many things he wouldn't do because he was terrified of the wig coming off, right? We weren't allowed balloons at parties, right? Auntie Edna said, yeah, Reg is allergic to balloons. He wasn't allergic to balloons. He was terrified one of us kids would rub one on our sweater, right? And his wig would fly across the room. We've got photos of him in the family album, right? And if he's at a wedding or a christening and he's holding a baby, he's always holding it at arm's length, like that. So he can't grab his wig. It must have been on his mind all the time, right? It was the only thing he feared, that wig coming off in public, and this ridiculous lie being exposed. He was in the army, he was hard as nails, wasn't scared of anyone or anything, spiders, snakes, roads, wasn't scared of cancer. How's the chemo going, Uncle? Not a problem. We got a photo of him, the last year, I think. He was 75. Yeah, it must have been his last year he was alive, right? And it was a hot day, and he was in the garden in his little trunks, right? And he was a wizened little man by then, and white chest hair, jet black wig still. Died in it, buried in it. He's wearing it now. A little skeleton with jet black hair, right? Like Posh Spice for eternity, right? But I knew all that was going to happen. I knew I was going to get old and fat and ill and blind and deaf and shit myself and be pushed around in a fucking bucket, right? But you're ready for that because you're warned. You know everything about getting old, right? Well, one thing they don't talk about, and so you're not prepared, and it was a shock to me, right? I only found out about it recently, and I'm going to share it with you now. The distending testicles. I didn't see. You don't know about it, right? But it happens in your 50s, right? I wasn't checking them or anything, but I didn't see them for 20 years, right? But all I know is, as a young man, they were pert, and now they're like two plums in a sock, right? I don't know when it happened, but it was recently, right? They just, and this is how I found out, right? So as I've been getting older, and they've been secretly stretching away, right? As I've been getting older, I've been getting richer, so my baths have been getting more and more luxurious, right? And last year, I moved into a new house in Hampstead, right? I had a big bath, but in a big sunken bath. Oh, south-facing windows. I was in there, like, the first night. Like, oh, lovely bath. Sun streaming in, classical music on. I thought, this is the life. I looked down, and they're floating, right? Now, I never dreamt that testicles would float. They seem like they'd be heavy, don't they? You could tie things down with them. They'd sit, do you know what I mean? And most people never see there. Like in the sea, you've got trunks on. In a shower, they dangle. And baths aren't usually that deep. And that was my first thought. Oh, my God, I never thought testicles would float, right? And then my second thought kicked in, which was, hold on, this bath's 2 feet deep, right? And I'm sitting on the bottom, and they're at the top. What is going on? Right? And I looked, and my testicles are now longer than my penis, right? Easily, by some way, right? In fact, they'd created like a little fleshy sort of life raft, right? My penis was dry, just nestled, just floating on top, like that, like that. Just bouncing around. I should have given it a little whistle. No, but I'm just looking at this thing, this is bizarre, fucking hell, right? And I thought maybe it's a fluke. So to test it, I held them under the water for a minute, and I let them go, and they bobbed up. They're really buoyant, right? So you try it when you get home, if you're in your 50s, right? And a man, obviously. Or Caitlyn Jenner. But the world is getting worse, and I blame the beginning of its demise on social media. Because Twitter and Facebook, that's where this ridiculous notion bred, right, and became stable, that it was more important to be popular than right, right? Everything was like me, agree with me. It falls into two tribes. Oh, I don't agree with them, so I'd block them, right? And now, in this post-truth era, people don't care about the argument. They don't look at the argument. They say, who's saying the argument? No, they're not on our side, right? It's ludicrous, okay? And it also bred this ridiculous notion. We've always had, my opinion is worth as much as your opinion. But now we've got, my opinion is worth as much as your fact, which is nonsense. I get tweets from people saying, well, I believe the Earth is 6,000 years old. Well, I believe you're a fucking idiot then, right? You can't have an opinion on the age of the Earth, right? You can have your own opinions, but you can't have your own facts, right? But it was all about being popular, right? And even politicians picked up those symptoms. Politicians tweet now, they want to be popular. We had a referendum about Brexit because they were passing the buck. They didn't want to make a mistake. So, and the other thing is this ridiculous thing of, oh, let's ask the average person what they think. Let's stop asking the average person what they... Do you know how fucking stupid the average person is? We still sell bottles of bleach with big labels on that say, do not drink, right? Let's take those labels off, right? For 2 years, and then have a referendum. But it's not just politicians, even real news. The news on TV says things like, well, tweet us your news. No, don't let them tweet you the news. I saw Tyrannosaurus Rex, you liar, right? There was a big news story last year, right? It was about a terrible train crash. Now, the train crash had happened about a year before, and there was a big inquiry. And the results of the inquiry were published this day, and so there was an expert on the news, and he was saying, well, we've looked at everything, and we've decided that the speed of the trains on this particular line were a contributing factor to the accident, so we're going to slow them down a little bit, and statistically speaking, this should never happen again, right? That should have been the end of it. But the guy went, wow, we went out and asked the general public what they thought. So then there was 3 banal vox pops. The first one said, well, I already pay £960 a year, so I'm not happy, right? And the next one said, well, it takes me 45 minutes each way, so it's not good enough, right? And the last one said, well, I always say, it's better to arrive at work late than dead. Why is that on the news? And when is that applicable in any situation? You know what I mean? You go, all right, Ted, you're in early. Ted? Oh, Ted. We've been through this. Remember I said I'd rather you arrive late than dead? But the big enemy is stupidity, right? I want to share with you the most stupid tweet I ever got, I think. All right. Now, admittedly, when I first got on Twitter, I pushed my agenda a little bit. I was an outspoken atheist, not because I thought I'd change anyone's opinions, but because I thought it was important to tell the other side, you know. There's still 13 countries where people are put to death just for being an atheist, and there's people bullied, and I just wanted to say, it's fine to be an atheist, it's fine to believe in God, and it's fine not to. That's all I was saying, really. And then I realised I didn't even have to tweet about religion or atheism. I could just tweet a fact, and that annoyed just the right people, right? I tweet things like, happy birthday, Earth, 4.6 billion years old today. And someone would always go, oh, we know what you're fucking doing, we know what you're doing, right? So, this is a tweet I got from someone after one of those, I assume, right? And it was all in capitals, which excited me. That's the sign of Twitter madness, mixed with anger. It's great, right? And I looked at his profile, and sure enough, he's a gentleman from Texas. He's a fundamentalist, creationist, Christian, right, which is fine. He loves God. He loves God and fetuses, mainly. He loves the fetus from conception to when it turns out gay. And then he's... Right, so remember it's all in capitals. He's shouting at me, right? Best tweet ever, right? Your science, my science, right? Science, by the way, is spelled S-C-I-E-N-T-S. Already good, isn't it? I mean, he's obviously heard the word. He took a guess. Never seen it written down, because it's not in the Bible. So he's... Your science won't help you. Well, it will. It's helping him beam this little message up to a satellite and down to me. Your science won't help you when Satan... Of course he believes in Satan. Why wouldn't he? He believes that God made the universe in 6 days. You're not going to say to him, do you believe in Satan? And he's going to say, bit far-fetched. Why doesn't God kill Satan? That's what I'd ask him. If I was wrong and I met God and I go, oh, you do exist. He'd go, yeah. I go, well, in which case, I've got a few fucking questions, mate. In fact, the first one would be, why did you make chocolate kill dogs? What's... mental. Also, if you hate homosexuality so much, why did you put the male G-spot up the arse? What is wrong with you? Then I'd say, why don't you kill Satan? And he'd go, what? I go, why don't you kill Satan? If he does all the bad stuff and you do all the good stuff, yeah, and you want good stuff, yes, yeah. I mean, You do want... Yes, yeah. And you could kill him, couldn't you, if you wanted? Yes, because you can do anything easy, yeah. Why don't you kill him then? Because... Shut up. Your science won't help you when Satan is raping your British ass. And he's got a point. Because if I die and I find myself in hell being raped by Satan, science has pretty much let me down. But it's this last line that he just throws away. This line that he signs off with makes this the best tweet I've ever received, right? Your science won't help you when Satan is raping your British ass. I'll be laughing. So, he's there too. So he's a fundamentalist Christian who's lived his life by the Old and New Testament. He dies, he wakes up in hell, right? Which must be off the charts on the scale of emotional trauma for a Christian. You want to go, oh my God, I'm in hell. Oh my God, why have you forsaken me? I'm in hell, it's the worst place. No, it's for eternity. I'm going to be tortured for eternity. Sees me getting raped, goes, What, he's suddenly over it, is he? His day's suddenly got a little bit brighter, right? And like he's not next, right? So he says, I'm getting raped, right, by the devil, right? And he's just there, you fucking atheist scum, right? And I'm like, yeah, whatever, right? Because I mean, I assume it happens all, it's like an eternity, so I'm, yeah, whatever, go on your fear. I might say, watch your hooves on my testicles, what is it, Bobo? You left the fucking oven on. There's a fire. What, are you telling me that if Caitlyn Jenner was being chased by a wolf, right, and there was a big fence, but she had a long pole, she'd revert. She'd be over that fucking easy. So, all that done, all that, all that, doing all that, right? I'll be legally a chimp. I'll be properly chimped up, right? I'll be able to use chimp toilets and everything, right? And then I'll be walking along Hampstead High Street, holding Jane's hand. Come on, Bobo. Like that, right? We don't even hold hands now, so I don't know why she's suddenly all over me just because I'm a chimp, right? But we'll be all in love, maybe matching jumpers, something like that. Walking along, come on, Bobo, in love, just two guys, And then, if a bigot in a white van slows down and goes, that's fucking disgusting, I just fling shit at him and run up a tree. And that's why that joke isn't transphobic, so... Cheers. So, humanity. What is humanity? What are we? Well, we've touched upon it there. We're great apes. Not metaphorically, we're literally great apes. We are 98.6% genetically identical to a chimpanzee. We're closer to chimps than chimps are to gorillas. We left our common ancestor about 6 million years ago. We have the same life cycle. Same life cycle as any other animal, which is our parents mate, we're born, we grow, we mate, our parents die, all our friends die, and then we die. Now, my 7-year-old niece didn't like hearing that, right? But I said, you've got to look. I said, stop crying. I said, you're 7, you know, today. So... Any more grizzling and this party's cancelled. So let's take the first of those, right? Birth. It's already an odd one for humanity because the human being is born before the end of its natural gestation period. And by that, I mean, because of our evolution, our brain is so big, we have to get that huge head out early. That's why the skull is in parts and supple, right? And then we have to carry on gestating outside the womb. That's why we're so useless. Compare us to other mammals, right? A giraffe is walking along, it goes, oh, I'm proper pregnant, right? I'm gonna have a baby giraffe right here, right? Yeah, there it is. See you later. Right? And the baby goes, Mum, can I get it's got to be fucking ready, right? We're helpless, right? Just think of that, right? 9 months, we're just growing in this perfect environment, just like that. Just everything's... It's like being in a little Kate Bush video, right? And then suddenly, and you're being squeezed out of an hole near an arse. You're covered in shit, they're screaming. You go, I can't breathe. Someone goes, yes, you fucking can, right? That's the first 1 second of life on Earth. You don't know where you are. You can't choose where you're born. I was born in a place called Whitley Estate in Reading, right? Yeah, no, I wouldn't have chosen that. I'd have chosen Hampstead. I did choose Hampstead. It just took me 45 years to be able to afford it, right? Very different, my upbringing, you know, to how I live now. I know I live a privileged life now. Hampstead, ridiculous. Oh, it's a rarefied place, right? It's just like the grandchildren of poets and painters and me, new money, right? But growing up, it was tough. I don't know what it's like now, but in my day, my estate was really sort of rough and scary. It felt like wildlife. I was weak and vulnerable, right? And there was danger around every corner. The school I went to was on my street, and I ran there every day so I didn't get mugged or molested. And there weren't a lot of paedophiles in Reading, because the murderers had killed a lot of them, but there was still a couple, right? I moved to Hampstead. Oh, my God, it's no crime. I saw a knife once in Hampstead. It was a palette knife. Just a bloke just painting, oil painting, in the middle of the street, broad daylight. No one was gobbing on it or calling him Bender. It was weird, right? So, I know my life has changed drastically, but it wasn't always like that. And the reason I'm telling you this, as a famous person, you sort of read about yourself, you know, gossip and, you know, Twitter and everything. And one thing kept cropping up, even when I was preparing for this tour, people saying, oh, he's out of touch. He's so famous, he's rich, he's mega rich. I am. I could have this place burnt down for a laugh. No, but they say things like, oh, he's an observational comedian. How can he say things that relate to ordinary scum? And I say, don't call them scum, right? But even the papers, they try and get around to it. I do interviews, and they'll always be able to say, oh, do you always fly first class? I go, no, often private. Right? And the number of times I've answered this question, right? They say, do you know how much a pint of milk is? It was meant to make you look out of touch, and I don't know, but that's irrelevant, right? Next time a journalist asks me that, I'm going to say, I don't know, mate, but here's £1,000. Run and get me one, will you? Is that enough? Is that enough? Yeah. Another question that I always get, particularly with the posh papers, the Sundays, they're doing a profile piece, and they're still trying to alienate you and make you look different, right? And they always say things like, no, you don't have children. I say, no. I say, why don't you have children? Which is a really odd question to ask someone, why don't you have children? As opposed to asking people, why do you have children, right? Let's ask the fat lady in the leggings why she's had 8, shall we? Oh, 9, that one just fell out. That one didn't even touch the sides or disturb a cigarette. That one just, boom. Don't claim for that. People say, oh, it's selfish to not have children. How can it be selfish to not bring a life into the world that doesn't exist on any level? It's not as a long sort of cabinet full of potential ghost fetuses going, we want to be born, right? But I've thought about it, and there's 3 reasons I don't have children, okay? 3 main reasons I don't have children, and I'll share them with you. Okay, here they go. 3 reasons, right? 1, there's millions. The world's overpopulated. No one's sitting around going, oh, Rick's not having kids, we're going to run out. 2, kids are scroungers, aren't they? I mean, from day 1, it's all me, isn't it? Feed me, clothe me, pay for my chemotherapy. No. Not my problem, son. Not mine. Luck of the draw, boy. Luck of the draw. It costs the average household in the West $200,000 to bring up a child, right? And you don't see that back. They don't want to pay you back. They're not grateful. They don't go, oh, thanks for having me every day. They go, I didn't want to be born, right? Even if they get a top job, right, which they won't, okay? You'll never see that money back, right? They just put you in a home, okay? And my kid, he'd be born into ridiculous wealth, wouldn't he? So he'd be a little cunt. A little Hampstead cunt. Running around with all the other fucking little Hampstead cunts. Being all Hampstead and cunty. I'm a little Hampstead cunt. Yes, I know, yeah. These are my little cunty friends. Yeah, I know, it's obvious. Well, I can tell from your little fucking cunty hats that you're little Hampstead cunts, you little posh Hampstead. And on the one hand, he'd know he was a little fucking Hampstead cunt. I'm a little Hampstead cunt. Yes, we know, everyone knows, right? He'd know that, right? And on the other hand, he'd know that he could never live up to being as brilliant as his dad, right? I'd say, you know, I worked my way up from nothing and I gave it to you and you're just a little useless Hampstead cunt. You'd go, yeah, and that would probably prey on his little mind a bit, wouldn't it? Like 11, 12, he'd sort of be a naughty boy, run with the wrong crowd, try and get out from under my shadow, right? And then he'd turn to drugs, and about 13, he'd come home and he'd overdose on my Afghan rug. 20 grand, that was, right? And as he was there, right, convulsing and throwing up his fucking lungs, right, and with his little posh, high-pitched fucking death rattle, right, his little fucking dying words, he'd go, do you love me now, Daddy? No. No. No, I never did, and that's why you're never going to be born, you useless fucking junkie Hampstead cunt. And 3, I'd worry sick about him. You know, no, I would. I've only got a cat at the moment, and I worry sick about her. I check the door 3 times when I go out, so, you know, she doesn't escape. I put food and water in every room in case the door's shut. She's peckish for 20 minutes. Right? A human baby, oh my God, the responsibility of a human life. I'd watch it sleep. You know, we've said how weak and vulnerable they are. It's like, oh my God, you perfect little thing. You, oh, flesh of my flesh. Go to sleep in your expensive cot. Oh, night, night, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs. Oh, dead. Yeah. Just... Why? Why is it dead? It's just fucking dead, look. Fuck's sake. Fucking hell. What a fucking waste of time that was. Fuck's sake. Embarrassing. Jane? What? Come here. I'm in the shower. Come here. What? Fucking dead already. I just fucking hell, Jane. You call that a baby? That is... If Jane was out, I'd have to text her, wouldn't I? What could you... Baby's dead. She'd come back, whoop, what the fuck? I go, yep. Forget the Pampers, lol. No, but even if it made it through the terrifying cot years, right? And then it was a toddler running around head height to my antique tables with their sharp edges. I have to pad them so it didn't run into it and fucking cave its head in and die. And then the social services come round, they say, is this your child, Miss Gervais? And I go, yeah. And they go, what happened here then? I go, it's a fucking idiot. I did think of adopting for a while, a little third world child, because that would tick all 3 boxes, wouldn't it? You know? You think of it like, 1, right? I wouldn't be adding to the population problem. I'd be alleviating an existing problem. A young kid born through no fault of his own into abject poverty, he would have died without me. I can literally save his life and give him a great upbringing, right? 2, he would be grateful, wouldn't he? He'd want to pay me back, wouldn't he? Particularly if I let him know that all the other kids in the village, they weren't so lucky. They didn't make it out. All right? I'd tell him that early on, so he really bucked his ideas up, right? I'd go, Tundi, come here. Come here. Yeah. Go and pop a shirt on. You're not in Africa now, mate. Yeah. That's better. Yeah. Tundi, yeah. Water straight out of a tap, innit? Yes. Yeah. No, it's not free. It's Hampstead. There's a little, but... Yeah, of course it's safe. Safe, fresh drinking water. Have as much as you want. Have a bucket full. Straight out of a tap. Fresh drinking water. There you go. Go and clean the car. Go on. No, I'd go, look, do you remember all your friends in the village back in Africa? Yeah, they're all dead. Because a rich man didn't save them and bring them to Hampstead, so... Do you want to pay me back? Yeah, I bet you do, right? And the good thing about them is they can start work when they're about 6. I just call up Nike and I go, do you still make your stuff in sweatshops? Got a great little worker here. Yeah. £1 a day's fine. He's got to start somewhere. Yeah, brilliant, right? And 3, if he ran round and caved his head in and died, and the social services came round and said, is this your child, Miss Gervais? I'd go, does it look like mine? I'd go, this is Hampstead, it's obviously broken in, mate. That's why I don't have kids.